Hello everybody, so I wanted to make another video. These are things that I'm kind of discovering for myself as I go along, so I'm just making videos as I go along. So this video is going to be, you know, I tie weight loss and with depression a lot, because if you're having a hard time getting motivated to you know, work out or be active or whatever, you know, physical health really ties in to your mental health and so many levels, you know. It's almost like we're split up into three separate pieces, if you think about it this way. The material, so we have our body, right? And then you have the psychological, alright, which is what your mind is doing in response to what your brain's doing. And then the third thing is your consciousness, which is what your awareness is. You know, whether that's something completely biological or if it's something more spiritual, connected, you know. Some people say that the pineal gland is a receptor for the soul, and that it's the third eye, and that it's the connection to the spiritual realm or whatever, and so on and so forth. But my point is that you have three different things, and all three of those things have to be functioning well for you to be healthy. Right? You have to have a strong soul. And this would be things that expands your consciousness, right? I know this is a weird thing, but I mean like studying and learning and exploring and going after knowledge and understanding and trying to find wisdom and exploring different modes of ideas and trying to understand logic and reason, and at the same time also exploring, you know, the spiritual realm with like an open mind. And then you can, there's also sorts of psychological stuff, there's scientific stuff, there are lots of ways to expand your consciousness, okay? And I know this is just me talking, but I almost think that when we, you know, expand our consciousness, we're actually expanding the consciousness of the entire world. I mean, our entire universe is fractile. Okay, I don't know if that's the right word, but fractals. Our whole universe. I will make a different video about that. Okay, so back to weight loss though, and being healthy. So we're gonna talk about the body portion of this right now. So one of the ways that is a really good way for you to lose weight, and this is something that's very easy to make. You want something that's going to have a certain balance of things. So you're gonna want fresh vegetables. You're going to want some sort of starch. You are going to want some sort of protein. And you're going to want water, right? Because water is going to fill you up. And you need to hydrate yourself for you to function properly. So drinking a lot of water is a good thing. I keep a bottle of water with me at all times, and I'm constantly drinking off of it because I want to keep myself hydrated. I also kind of had some spiritual beliefs about water, but that's aside from the point. Anyway, so one thing you can do, and this is something you can do every day, and the nice thing about this, right, that what I'm going to tell you about is that you can do this on a daily basis and change it up every single day with something new. A new meat, a new vegetable, a new starch, a different, I mean, what I'm going to talk to you about is very, very simple, okay? And what you need to do is just make variations on the theme. And this is something that's going to make your life simplified and help you live healthier. So, what am I talking about? I'm talking about soup, man. Soup is awesome. Okay, you take water, right? You fill up your pot with water. You take a few scoops of, you know, broth, or how much broth base that you want. And then you need some sort of protein. And this is where you get to experiment, right? Like today, I used smoked kielbasa because kielbasa has an amazing flavor that I absolutely love. And in soup, I mean specifically in soup with veggies, it's so fucking good. It's very, very good. And so I used kielbasa. I cut up a full kielbasa link that my dad had. It was about this long. And I put it in my soup, and a shit ton of soup. And that's the other nice thing. It's like, okay, well, I'm going to put 3/4 of a cup of rice, which is my starch for the soup this time. I used jasmine rice. You know, a handful of, you know, what's it called, broccoli, and another handful of onions, and whatever else you want to put in there, and you throw it in a pot with water, and you boil it for like 30 or 40 minutes or however long you want, until, you know, just until the vegetable gets tender. You don't want the vegetables to be like completely falling apart, but you want to boil it long enough that they're starting to get tender, and the meat has to be cooked all the way through. Now you can pre-cook your meat if you want to. I also like kielbasas and bratwurst and stuff like that for soups, because they tend to be more juicy. They have like more oils or whatever fats and stuff in them, and it flavors the soup, and it tastes really, really good. My suggestion, if you like good flavored soups, you don't want to go high in sodium, right? Because sodium makes you retain water, which may or may not be a good thing, but in some cases it's a good thing. And what I mean by this is, for instance, cholera. If you ever have somebody who's having a lot of diarrhea, what happens is that well, things become runny, right? So you lose a lot of water. But in cholera actually actively pulls water out of the body, and you know, it excretes through the colon and stuff. And that's really shitty, because that dehydrates somebody. You can give them as much water, but the cholera is blocking the absorption of it. So what you do is you take, I don't remember, it was like, take like a gallon of water. I don't remember how much, it was either like a handful of sugar and a pinch of salt or something like that. Anyway, and you mix it in, I don't remember how much water, but a certain amount of, it's a certain proportion, but you want more sugar than you want salt. And what this does is it allows your body to absorb water. So in some cases, having salt in your body is a really good thing, but most Americans have way too much salt. So kielbasa or something like that is a good way to not add salt to your soup, but get good flavor out of it. And God, there's a world. There's a worlds of like curries and spices. Ooh, I wonder how cinnamon would taste. I don't know what sort of meat I would want to try that with, though. But it could be good. I don't know. You know, there's a world of spices out there that you could try. I would say experiment. And this is the fun part of it. Like, don't think of cooking food as a chore, because if you do it the right way, it's delicious, and there's no reason it can't be healthy at the same time. And soup is an amazing way to think about this. You go to the store, you buy a kielbasa pack, right, or whatever, And you don't even have to use the entire kielbasa, right, in the soup. You just use a small portion of it, because the meat is for a bit of protein and some flavoring. And then the rice is the starch. I also threw in some chia seeds because I wanted to see how they would work in a soup, and I didn't notice them. I think that's the whole point of chia seeds. But chia seeds are good for you, so add them to your soups and stuff like that. I don't notice them. Some people don't like the texture of them because they get a film around them that's kind of slimy. The best way I can explain it is the closest I think would be like tapioca or something, but I don't even know if that's right. It's very weird. You know, the chia, and it has I think it has omegas in it, which is good for your brain. So eat chia seeds, because, or you know, take fish oil tablets or whatever. It's really good for your brain, which is good for your body, which is good for everything. Just, yeah. So that's a really easy way to be healthy. And you can find other recipes that are very simple like this. You know, the soup just starts with a base. You add a meat, you add your veggies, whatever you want your veggies to be. I chose broccoli and onions because I like broccoli and onions. I don't like carrots, so I didn't put any carrots in there because I don't like the taste of carrots. Unless I have ranch. Or they're really sweet carrots. Really sweet carrots. When you're, like, in the mood to chew on something crunchy, fantastic. But other than that, I'm not really a huge fan of carrots. So, you know, I'm kind of picky about my veggies. And I could eat broccoli probably every day and be happy. But, you know, other people, they don't want to eat the same thing every single day. So, you know, this is a good recipe. You can, you know, change it up. You can experiment, you know, stuff like that. And it's just a really good, healthy, and cheap way to have, you know, really good tasty meals. Like, that's a full meal in and of itself. It's got the veggies, it's got the starch, it's got the protein. That's what my mama always told me, was you gotta have veggies, starches, and meat. Those are the three. And then, of course, water is a portion of that, which, like I said, water is really, really good for you. This is like my new thing. It's like water. Guys, drink water. Tons and tons of water. Just drink all the water. I have to pee constantly because my bladder is this small, but, you know, still, I drink a ton of water because it makes me feel better. You know, it really does. Being hydrated is really good for you. It gives you more energy. It gets the toxins out of your body, etc., 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 etc. Drink water. It's good for you. It's the drink of champions. We are the champions, my friends, and we'll keep on fighting till the end. We are the champions, no time for losers, 'cause we are the champions. We are the champions of the world.